And welcome to High School Basketball Weekly, a special live edition from Hoosac Valley High School, where tonight Rick Boo and myself have the privilege of calling the Hoosac Valley versus Drury boys basketball game live. But before we get to that, we want to recap some of high school action, and we have some special guests with us, Rick, this evening. And we're going to start off with the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes. Rick, who played a game here today against Granby. They came away the winner 72-21 in convincing fashion. They now stand at a record of 10-1 and are well on their way to an outstanding seed in the state tournament.
Yeah, they certainly are, Tim, and I'm going to tell you that today, not just the Hurricanes get their 10th victory, but they're the second team so far in Western Mass to have 10 wins already. A lot of teams haven't played a lot of games yet because of COVID, of course, but I'm sure when we talk to Coach McGovern, we talk to the girls, they're going to be pretty happy with the way things have gone so far.
And we have with us the head coach for the ladies of Hoosac Valley, Coach Holly McGovern. And Coach, your squad here stands at 10-1. They're on a roll. They played 3 games in 3 consecutive nights, leading off with a huge game against Wacona in a rematch. And that was an outstanding game down in Dalton.
Yeah, I mean, Wacona came out early with a lot of intensity, got in our faces, and our women just did a great job of being composed. They stuck with a game plan. Defensively, we did the things that we had to do, especially in the second half, and we came away with a pretty good win.
And Coach, one of the things I was impressed about in the read-up of the game was the fact that you guys got down early. You stayed composed. How important? I mean, you guys have been in some big games. These ladies have been in some big games over the years in their career, and they just maintained their composure against a very good Warrior team.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up taking a timeout early on. I think the score was 8-2. And one of the key components in our conversation was just to settle in, find the open person. Obviously Wacona and their high-pressure defense creates a lot of havoc for people, and they want to rush things. And I think our women just did a nice job finding that open person. Taylor Garabedian came in. She hit some early on buckets to kind of close that gap. It was 19-8. We closed the gap, and halftime we actually had an opportunity to tie it up, but we ended up going out 23-21. And obviously in the second half, again, just composure and find that right person.
And Coach, we're about at the halfway mark of the season, and I've noticed watching your team several times this year, it seems like you're putting in a little bit more every game, a little bit more defensively, a little bit more offensively. Are you happy with where the team is at this point?
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at our practice schedule, obviously it's been a little bit limited between the holiday season and then there's just like some minor setbacks with everything else going on in the world, right? So we took our time this week with our 4 games. We talked about that every game you have to come away and learn something new.
Right.
Even in a game like today, there's some things that you have to take away from. So we'll be happy to get back to practice on Monday. We got to work on some game management. But again, every day should be a learning process.
Absolutely, Coach. And of course, we have with us here 2 players that have been stalwarts of this program now for 4 years. It's amazing when they play early on in their careers. It seems like we've been watching these young women forever. Avery McGrath and Alyssa Garabedian, they've provided a lot of leadership for your squad.
Yeah, they are our captains. We named them early on in the season, and they have done their due diligence in just showing even our younger players, our older players, just how it's done. And I think that it's important that the leadership has a trickle-down effect, and they're doing a great job right now.
They certainly are. And ladies, having watched you guys are on a roll, played 3 games in a row. Was there any effect? Did you have some tired legs here tonight, Alyssa?
Yes, we did.
Avery, you guys have played now some big games. Of course, you played Wacona twice. You played Taconic once. Amherst, a very good Amherst team. Looking down the road now, you've got Amherst and Pittsfield coming up this week. And how do you see your team coming out in those games?
Yeah, I mean, we got to come out with lockdown defense. We got to communicate a ton. We just got to be there for each other.
Ladies, looking at this team, I've been impressed by the fact that it's a mixture both of experience and younger players. You've got a freshman that's running a point for you. That's really a testament to her ability, given the high quality of play you folks are playing at.
Yeah, we believe in her. She is a good point guard, and she executes well in practice, and I believe in her.
The other thing is, looking at you guys this year, it seems as if you started out the year, your defense was ahead of your offense. I mean, you've had some really good defensive efforts against some really good teams, but now it looks like your offense is starting to click a little bit, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, our transition offense is coming in clutch from now on. So we got to keep up the good work.
Well, obviously, you have a bullseye on your back because at the halfway mark of the season, Coach, the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes are #1 in Division III in the state of Massachusetts. So as two-time defending champions, you're going to have teams with, they're going to give you their best effort, no question about it.
Yeah, and it all comes back down to in practices and in games is just doing the little things. And if we continue to grow as a team, we stick together, we're going to overcome some adversity. Overall, if we just do those little things, we're going to continue to get better. And at the end of the day, I trust this team. I trust their composure. I trust their willingness to get onto the floor when it needs to take place. So I think overall, we can't look, 3-4 weeks into the future. We got to stay with Monday's practice. Let these ladies have a nice day off. It was 4 games this week, and thankfully 3 of the 4 were home. But I'm looking forward to Monday and just getting back into the grind of practice.
And ladies, before I let you go, I've got to ask you this. Obviously, you're here supporting the boys that are playing Drury. You folks battled with Drury, the ladies up at Drury in a very hard-fought game. There's nothing like this atmosphere, is there?
No, I mean, I don't think we've had a game this crowded this year, so it'll be intense.
It certainly will. Well, we're going to let you get to the game and enjoy it. We want to thank Coach McGovern, Avery McGrath, and Alyssa Garabedian. Thank you very much for taking some time out to join us here on this special edition of High School Basketball Weekly. We want to wish you the best of luck down the road, and of course, I'm sure we'll be covering some more of your games. Thank you very much.
Good luck, girls, the rest of the way.
Coach,
thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
you very
Coach.
much. Thank you. And that is Coach Holly McGovern, along with Avery McGrath and Alyssa Garabedian of the Lady Hurricanes of Hoosac Valley. And we got some other special guests coming in here, Rick, and another team that is on a roll on the girls' side, the Lady Devils.
Yeah, the Devils certainly are, Tim. And they took on the Lee Wildcats the other night and outscored the Wildcats 20-8 in the fourth quarter and came out with a big victory, 49-42 at the Bucky Bullet Gym. Lee led 18-10, and things turned around. Great fourth quarter for Coach Downey's team. And then last night, got some balance scoring in a nice win over Mount Greylock. So the Blue Devils are at 7-2 and 5-1 in the league, and we've got the head coach and some of the girls right here.
Come on in, folks. We got head coach Ian Downey along with we've got Ellie Harnick, Alyssa Russell, and Kayla McGrath. Ladies, if you want to just come over here, we'll get to you in a minute. But we want to get Coach Downey. Coach, we've seen you a few times now. Rick has covered the game. He was there last night. And one of the things we've commented on is how hard your team has played. They really play hard every night.
Yeah, I think that is probably the biggest compliment you can give a coach. Anytime you can say to a coach, your team plays hard. I mean, you're going to have games where you struggle. You're going to have games where you don't execute. But if your team goes out there and hustles and plays hard and competes, as a coach, that's really all you can ask for. So hearing you guys say that, that's a really good compliment for my team and my players. I appreciate that.
And, Coach, you look at your team. I mean, we have a squad. It's got a lot of youth on it. Of course, you have senior leadership here. You got a couple of your seniors here with us. But this is a squad that also has a lot of youth to it, and you're getting some real good play out of your younger players.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're younger, you're just looking for girls to step up. I mean, we have 2 seniors who obviously we're going to lean on most of the year, but whenever you have a team that has younger kids, you're just looking for who's going to step up and take those minutes and take those shots and play their heart out any given night. So, for us going into the season, we weren't 100% sure what we were going to get. We knew some of the girls coming back, but like most teams this year, because of COVID, you really had a lot of unknown going into the season. So for myself and I'm sure other coaches, early in the year, you're just trying to figure out your team, figure out what you have. And, at some point, youth doesn't matter. You end up playing enough games where it really doesn't matter.
You know, you talk about the impact of the pandemic and the fact that you guys have had to pause your season on occasion and had to play games without players. I talked with Coach Hoosac here before the game here tonight, and one of the things that amazed me is he indicated the loss of practice time. The total amount of practice time that he's had with his team has been extremely limited.
Yeah, and not only the time that we were, down, you lost that time, but the problem is we had to cancel games. Now those games got to get pushed later on the season, and those are taking up practice times that you normally would have had. So I know obviously Jack's probably feeling it, but for me, I'm looking at the schedule the rest of the way thinking, when am I going to fit in some time to say stuff and go over stuff? And unfortunately, what it just means is we're going to have to go over stuff on the fly. We're going to have to, put stuff in at half times, and then in the game, we're going to learn how to do it. And, timeouts will stress stuff. But we, our game last night, for example, we ran a couple set plays out of timeout, so I was proud of the girls of that. So, for us, because there's not going to be a lot of practice time the rest of the year, we're just going to have to kind of learn on the fly in games.
And Coach, looking down the road here for your squad, you got a big game coming up this week, a good measuring stick for your team. You're playing Taconic. That'll be a real test for your squad.
Yeah, I mean, Taconic's playing really good. They've played some really good teams this year. Anytime you play a quality team like Taconic, it's going to be good for us. It's going to be a good test for us. They obviously got two really, really good players that we're going to have to focus on. But for us, we're going to try and rely on our defense to create offense and then go from there. I mean, fortunately, they're coming up to us. That should help us a little bit, but it's going to be a good test for us. I'm excited. They're always well coached. Their two players are really good, so we'll see how we play against them. And plus, they're a Division 5 team, so most likely, if we want to win a Western Mass title or if we want to win a state title, we might have to go through them eventually anyway. So It's going to be a good test in the season. Right.
And looking at your own conference, Rick and I have talked about your upcoming schedule in your league, the actual league that you're in. And, of course, you have Springfield ICS, who you lost to early in the season, but you get them again, and then some other teams in the conference. We think that the Drury Blue Devils are going to end up with a nice record this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's our plan. We're excited to play Springfield International again. Ellie didn't get to play in that game. She's obviously one of our bigs.
Right.
And they game plan around their big. So having Ellie back for that game will give us another body to put up against her. I really feel like if we can limit her, we should be able to win that game. As long as we play, Drury basketball and all other aspects. So, but they're another team that's going to be right up there in Western Mass in the state. So it's good that we played Hoosac this year. We played Taconic. We played them. Those are three teams that are going to compete in Western Mass and compete in states, and it's a good test for us. So. Obviously you want to win those games, but as I say to my girls all the time, whether you win or lose, as long as we're learning as we go and eventually get to playing the best basketball we can play come games, 18, 20 or whatever it may be, we'll be happy.
Absolutely. I'm going to turn the microphone over now to my sidekick here, Mr. Booth. He's got some questions.
I've got a question for each one of the girls. Alyssa, you're to the right of me, so I'll ask you first, the junior. We weren't able to cover Drury girls basketball last year just because of COVID. Yes, you had a season. The rules were a little different. It was hard. Kayla, I know you missed some time last year with an injury, I believe. But just seeing you guys come back now, I didn't cover you two since you were sophomores, and Alyssa is a freshman. And so now, here you are as two seniors and a junior with a lost year. But, I mean, I can see the real difference. What do you like about the way your team's playing right now, Alyssa?
I think we're doing really well as a team. That's really been an emphasis that we've been working on, is playing as a team and not one person, because you're not going to win with one person. You're going to win as a team. So that's what really been trying to do.
Yeah. Kayla, kind of the mainstay of this team for leadership and scoring for sure. But I know first and foremost you're a team player. You want that win in the win column. Last night, something a little bit different for you, at least covering you for the last couple of years, on the bench with foul trouble. And that's got to be real hard for a senior captain to want to be out there so bad. it's got to be really hard sitting on the bench.
Yeah, it's hard, but when you have good players all around you, it doesn't matter as long as I'm cheering from the bench, helping the team from the bench. That's all that matters.
And the thing that I noticed, too, covering the game last night is when you went back out there again and coach is yelling, be careful, you were playing with that high intensity that you normally do. And I'm sure that's really appreciated, but you had everybody holding their breath. Ellie, it's good to see you. How good is it as a senior to be back when it really counts now?
It's good. It makes me feel like I'm part of the team again, and I love playing with these girls. They're like my family.
And what do you think the difference is, girls, with last year? You might have had some fun, and you were still learning. Coach, still new in his program, but here you are, towards the top of your league, 7-2 record. What's the biggest difference, Ellie? You think how far you've come in a year?
I don't know. I think I can talk to Coach. He's a good coach, and he makes me like I want to be there and I want to learn more.
Kayla?
I think all around our defense this year is better than last year, and I think we're playing more competitive and more of like there's something to win for, where last year was more of just like it was almost like a preseason for this year. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just different rule changes. Listen, one last question. That defensive intensity. I just noticed that I saw more kids. I texted Coach Downey earlier today. You're going for loose balls. You're on the floor. You're battling. I guess that's a sign of a good defensive team.
Yeah, I definitely think so, because if you're not the team that's on the floor getting the ball, like, you're not going to get the ball.
Exactly.
I got a question for the ladies. I'll tell you, ladies, selfishly, I have to say this selfishly. I know there's been a realignment and the MIA has done some different things, but I have to tell you, selfishly, I miss these games and this environment. I think it's outstanding for high school athletes to be able to compete in this atmosphere. I know Rick and I just get a kick out of covering all your games, but especially games with your rivals. It really is a unique atmosphere, isn't it, Alyssa?
Yeah, last year, like, as Kayla said, it was like a preseason, like a practice year. Like, we can have fans this year. It definitely changes, like, the way we play. It's more hype. Like, everybody gets more excited. And I think that really helps us.
Well, ladies, let me say this. We're going to be covering you down the road, I'm sure, and hopefully in the tournament. I know Rick and I are really looking forward to that. We want to wish you the best of luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. And, of course, want to thank you for taking some time here today to appear on High School Basketball Weekly. Coach, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, girls. Good luck. We'll see you up at the Bucky Bullet Gym.
The Lady Blue Devils joining us here on High School Basketball Weekly. And, Rick, it never fails to impress me that we watch these young women and young men over the years. They start as freshmen and sophomores, and how they mature, their composure. These are wonderful young people. They're real credit to their families and to their community.
They certainly are. And Tim, I think we all got cheated last year. The world's been in a pandemic almost 2 years now, but we weren't able to cover high school basketball games last year. We couldn't really do High School Basketball Weekly. That's why we had the classics on. And so, it's not like in college where kids don't enroll in school and they come back for their eligible years. These kids are going to graduate on time. And, like I said, when I saw Alyssa Russell as a first year, I said, oh, she's going to be really good. Here she is a junior already. And Kayla and Ellie were just sophomores, and now they're seniors.
Right.
So, for the first time in all of our lives, not just broadcasting, but students and parents and administration, we all lost a year last year, and it's really, really good. I'll tell you, it's a credit to Coach Downey's program, where he's come record-wise, and where he's come with his kids. And there's no foot off the gas with Hoosac Valley with Coach McGovern. She runs her own program. May not be like programs in the past, but a successful program. It's one the girls buy into, and that's why they're also successful.
Absolutely. So, again, looking at Drury, just recapping Drury and Hoosac Valley, Rick. Drury stands now at 7-2, and we've looked at their conference, where they line up, and we see Drury. Of course, they're going to play Springfield. They're tied for second place in that division. They have to play Springfield ICS again. And that's going to be a rematch for them. And I know Coach Downey's looking forward to it. But this Blue Devil team continues to improve, and I think they'll be heard from as we go down the road, both in Western Mass and in the State Division 5 tournament.
I think so, for sure. A good league that they're in. I think whether they go down to Springfield and beat ICS, I don't know. And they lost by 12 at home, but they did play without Ellie Harnick, and she is a big. She does average double figures in rebounds every game, so that'll make a difference. Drury hasn't played Agawam yet, and they're tied with Agawam at 5-1 in the league. Agawam played Mount Greylock twice tough. Mount Greylock lost 2 close games to Agawam, and I know they don't play the game on paper, but I think that if Drury goes out and plays their best basketball, especially defensively with intensity, they're going to be fine. And I see them either first or second in the Girls Central.
And also following up, Rick, talking about some of the other local teams on the girls' side, McCann Tech still playing shorthanded. They lost at home shorthanded to East Hampton, who in their league is in first place. And that was a very competitive game. They played shorthanded. And again, I'm looking forward to the Lady Hornets getting back their complete roster, because I think they can compete very well in their league.
Coach Budai is doing the best job that she possibly can with the girls that she has. I think I said it on the show the other night, Tim. She's only, for 2 games in a row now, she's only suited 7 players. So you can't just take a JV. If you want, you can put them on the bench and tell them that you're just going to fill a space. But if she's truly going to go 7 or 8 deep and she's only got 7 suited players, that's what she's going to do. And she's getting the best out of her kids. They did lose for the second time against East Hampton, but East Hampton is 6-0 in the conference, 10-0. They were the first team, Hoosac Valley being the second girls team, to hit the 10 mark plateau, which used to be, hey, we're in the tournament because of the 20-game schedule. Maybe not so much anymore, but nevertheless, East Hampton is a very good team. But I think McCann Tech could be very competitive with them. They need to get the backcourt back, and we said that the other night. Once Izzy Lacasse comes back, they're going to get their backcourt play. They're going to get their leading scorer back. And I think if Coach Budai can get some points from her backcourt, and especially from Lacasse, and also get some good play from her 2 bigs, Macy Tatro and Hannah Boisfer, I think they're going to be okay.
And of course, Mount Greylock, the Mounties also had been in some tight contests. Of course, the game you covered last night for Northern Berkshire Community Television when they lost to Drury, but it was a tight, hard-fought game.
When Coach Jacoby brings his kids from Mount Greylock to North Adams, or when Coach Downey takes his kids over to Mount Greylock in Williamstown, it's almost like what we say here about throwing the records out. Those 2 teams battle. And Coach Jacoby has gotten the best of the Blue Devils the last couple of years. I believe, I'd have to go back. I know he won both games last year and at least one, if not both, the year before. So that was a nice win last night, 40-30 at the Bucky Bullet Gym. Not a heck of a lot of offense. But I had said that in the broadcast, Tim, that those teams were averaging around, Greylock upper 30s, Drury low 40s, and they don't give up very much either. So they were exactly where I thought they would be. I mentioned that at the end of the third quarter that I thought they would be where they were, and Greylock got a little bit close at one point, but Drury found a way to put their foot back on the pedal, and they came away with a nice win. Balanced scoring because of the foul trouble Kayla McGrath was in. She sat most of the first quarter and half of the second quarter. So she only played 1 quarter of the first half, pretty much. Still led the team with 11 points, and her leadership was still incredible. But they did pretty much step up. They did a really great job with Jacinta Felix, the freshman, with 9, and Danielle Harnick and Alyssa Russell with 7. So Ellie really chipped in, and Alyssa chipped in last night. So. We say this many times on the show, Tim, is when you get some balanced scoring, 6 here, 7 there, 8 there, it's going to be success.
Absolutely. And looking again, just talking a little bit while we have a moment talking about Western Mass and the state tournament, these teams, Drury especially, looking to move up on that ranking ladder. Every win for them is important. Every game they've got a big one against, Taconic this week. And if Coach Downey can steal the game there, that's going to be huge for him.
Yeah, and I like what Coach Downey said too. It's not a league contest, so if you want to kind of play the best, and you're not playing Wacona, then you did get to play Hoosac Valley and Taconic. That's just as good. So they're very strong. They'll see where they stand against them. As he mentioned, Aaliyah Phillips and Faith Cross, not by name, I just did.
Right.
But he said they have two great players. They're the two standouts down there at Taconic. After that, it's role players like a lot of teams have. So we'll see if he can slow them down a little bit. I know Hoosac Valley was able to. I know Wacona was able to. And we'll see how they fare when they meet up this week.
And we're about 11 minutes or so away from the start of the game here at Hoosac Valley between the Drury Blue Devils and Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, Rick. And we're going to switch over now here on High School Basketball Weekly for some boys action and talk a little bit about the boys. Of course, Drury had a big lapse, a pause in their activity. They finally got back on the road against Lennox in a big win for them.
Yeah, they were off, Tim, for about 18 days when they finally played Lee at the Bucky Bullet Gym, and then had to travel to Lennox and had a very sluggish second quarter, to say the least. A very atypical Coach Reset type quarter, and found themselves trailing Lennox 31-29. But they went on a 51-12 advantage in the second half, primarily led by sharpshooting senior Ben Moulton, and they came away with an 80-40 win. So if you told me the Drury won 80-40 but trailed at halftime, I'd say, oh dear Lord, what happened in that first half? But they were led by Moulton with 32, Louis Gelati with 18. Zach Davenant stepped up and scored 13 points. And, you know, it may be just a couple of minutes early to talk about this matchup we're calling here tonight in Cheshire, Tim. But with Timmy Brazo out on COVID protocol, and he missed the Lennox game, somebody had to step up, and Zach Davenant in. So who will that be tonight? You're not going to get too much more to Gelati and Moulton that they gave you against Lennox.
Right.
So if they have their typical game, somebody still has to step up. Is it going to be Pettingill? Is it going to be Davis? Is it going to be Davenant again? We'll have to see. But he's got to get some scoring from a third person.
And, you know, talking about COVID protocols and the pause that Drury went through, Rick, talked to head coach Jack Reset before the game here tonight, and indicated to me, he said, you realize we've played 9 games. We've had more games than practices as a team. It's very difficult when you're not able to practice, and so you have to have a little bit of sympathy for the Blue Devils and the fact that they've had so little practice time, and that's important at the high school level.
Right, and if you talk to some other coaches, you just happen to catch Coach Reset,
right,
which is great. But if you got to talk to other coaches, they would probably tell you the same thing. Oh yeah, Coach Reset said that, me too. And that's where our teams get better. We know about the teams that we cover. We know Coach Robinson's team gets better as the year goes on. Coach Jacoby over at Greylock. Coach Thistle at Greylock. Coach Budai and Bullitt down at McCann. They'll tell you all the time, we need practice. The kids go stir crazy just scrimmaging against one another too. So that's tough. That's tough because that's where you add new things, and you may play a 2-1-2 zone and try to teach a 3-2, or you want to practice your man-to-man, or do you want to do something in transition, pressure, full court pressure, which they weren't able to do last year. It's tough when you play more games than you've practiced.
And Rick, we're here at Hoosac Valley, obviously, for this rivalry matchup. We always have a blast doing these games, and we got a nice crowd here, pandemic and all, here at Hoosac Valley for this one between these two arch rivals. And it's also good to have back, part of this rivalry, 2 great high school coaches for Drury, Jack Reset, and for Hoosac Valley, Bill Robinson. They obviously add an element. They have battled against each other over the years, and they're going to have their teams ready to go. They know the importance of this game.
Well, you talk about 2 communities that border one another, Tim, in so many different ways. First of all, take a look at the 2 coaches, two of the most prominent coaches in the history of Berkshire County basketball for knowledge and teaching the game. They know each other. They're friends. They mirror each other. Their programs mirror one another. They demand the same things from their boys. It's almost a Williams and Amherst, You take a look at both schools, you pick one.
And there they are, meeting at half court right there. And they're glad to be back. I talked to Coach Robinson. His response to me was he only regrets that they only play this game one time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because of the new MIA rules and schedules, Tim, like you said. it's only going to be one. They'll play next year up at the Bucky Bullet Gym, but there's only one right now, so they're going to make the very best of it. But, it's great to see Coach Robinson back. He was back last year,
right, but
we didn't get to be in here to cover the game.
That's right.
So, and keep in mind that they had either 16-2 or an 18-2 record last year, something like that. So, but yeah, they just mirror one another, and they're former students of legendary coach Frank Zoltek.
That's right.
He taught them an awful lot, and they both have given the late coach Zoltek a tremendous amount of credit, teaching them what they needed to do, not just for practices or game coaching, but how to deal with young men respectfully.
And again, talking about tonight's game, this is a very interesting matchup between these two teams. Rick, you got each team has two big scores. For Drury, Louis Gelati averaging better than 21 points a game. Ben Moulton better than 19 points a game. There's 40 points between those two players. For Hoosac Valley, Carson Meswar better than 21, and Frank Field a little over 20 a game. So there you got it. Those are the two big wheels for these squads. Somebody else has to step up for each of these teams.
Somebody does. And for Hoosac Valley, we'll start with them first, Tim. You're never going to stop Carson Meswar or Frank Field, but you can slow them down. I don't know how to do it. Maybe Coach Reset knows how to do it, but I can tell you that if they play their game, and they've played every game this season pretty much the same way, they'll be your leading two scorers. There are a lot of role players, like Sean Kastner, Jr., Caleb Harrington, and I like the sophomore Joey McGovern. He came on with Frank Field as first years last year, and he is very, very capable of giving you doubles. Now for the Blue Devils, they're going to have to get that scoring, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, and they're going to have to get it from possibly Logan Davis, who hasn't contributed a lot in the scoring column, but he does everything else and does it well. He's, like his sister Lauren at Drury, is a defensive specialist. I had mentioned to you off air that Logan Davis, when he was a student at Hoosac Valley and played for that program, he was knocking down some threes against the Blue Devils at the Bucky Bullet Gym.
Right.
So he is capable of doing it, as Zach Davenon was in double figures often last year. He scored 13 the other night at Lennox. He's capable of doing it. But they're really, really going to miss Tim Brazo tonight, the senior. And I feel bad for Timmy. So if you're out there watching, Tim, I hope things are going well. I know you're doing okay, and you're just waiting this MIAA regulation out. But for a senior not to be at Hoosac Valley High School for the only time you're playing Hoosac Valley, I feel bad for him. But Tim, you're going to be around when the time comes when they need you the most at the end of the season.
Absolutely. And we got about 2 or 3 minutes before we tip off here at Hoosac Valley. We got a big crowd on hand here at Hoosac Valley for this rivalry matchup between the Blue Devils and the Hurricanes. We're going to start off here. We're going to have the tip-off in just a couple of minutes. And while we have a moment, Rick, we want to send our shout-out and hellos to some of our good fans and viewers.
Let's do that.
Larry and Sandy.
Larry and Sandy, how you doing out there? I know you're probably just up the road here. I hope you're watching and enjoying. Joan and Ed Marco, friends of mine from Adams, big Hoosac Valley fans. Hope they're watching. My friends Mike and Cheryl Vasilio in North Adams, who are avid watchers of High School Basketball Weekly and also basketball on Northern Berkshire Community Television. So hi to Mike and Cheryl. Along anybody else.
And of course, our friends down at the Pizza House in Adams, who
are some of our biggest supporters,
our biggest viewers.
One thing I want to chip in here, Tim, just a little bit is, because we have a minute or two. Once we talk about, Greylock McCann and Hoosac Drury boys and girls on High School Basketball Weekly, if we have time, we usually talk about some of the other teams. And the red-hot Wacona Warriors under Coach Belcher, unfortunately, have kind of slipped off just a little bit. They suffered the third consecutive loss to Monument Mountain last night in Great Barrington. So Monument avenged an earlier season loss in Dalton. Brody Calvert still their leading scorer with 28, but still not enough. So Wacona is now 7-3, 4-2 in the league. Mount Greylock Mounties did not play the last few days since our last High School Basketball Weekly program, and they're 7-3, 5-0. They're looking really, really good, and they're at Franklin Tech on the 25th. Don't be surprised if they go 6-0 there. So And then the Wacona girls. I'll get the girls sheet here just a little bit too. I would talk about them. Of course, they lost that game at home to Hoosac Valley. So 2 losses to the Hurricanes this year, both by 5 points. And they did play without Grace Wigington, but I got to say, kudos to Coach Liz Kay, who I really respect her program down there. I read about I noticed Grace Wigington, the outstanding sophomore, averaging about 20 points a game, did not play in the Hoosac game. But you got to play with who you have. And Coach Liz Kay said in the Berkshire Eagle, "Hey, look we lost a great basketball team for the second time this year by 5 points, and we didn't have our leading scorer or one of our leading scorers. So they're going to be fine. I just hope that everybody's healthy, Tim, come the end of the season." Whether we have this little Western Mass little tourney they're talking about, or they get down to the state.
Right.
So, but this one, we'll see. This should still be a good one. I still remember 2 years ago, Drury was riding really, really high. Hoosac needed that 10th win to get in the Western Mass tournament, and Drury was heavily favored coming up here. Scott McGuire was red hot. And Scotty had a off shooting night, and the Blue Devils just had an off night. And the Hurricanes won the game. They went on to Western Mass, and Drury went on to win the Western Mass Division 5 title. So, you never know.
Right, you absolutely don't. Okay, we're about ready now for the introduction of the starting lineups here at Hoosac Valley High School. Drury versus Hoosac Valley. Drury comes into this game with a record of 7-2. They're 4-0 in their league. And Hoosac Valley with a record of 6-1, 4-1 in their league. Big game for the Hurricanes. Big game for both teams here.
Tied with the Wacona Warriors. Of course, they won 4 straight, Tim, over Mount Anthony, East Hampton, Palmer, and Greylock.
All right.
And here's your starting lineups.
And there's Anthony Pettengill. Rick, a player you think is important to this game.
Yeah, I really think so. He has the capability. If you give him an open 3, he can knock him down. He's ambidextrous. He can dribble with both hands. He's very, very quick. He's a great defender. Number 32, Logan Davis, a great defender. Their leading scorer, Louis Gelati.
And Benny Moulton.
Zach Davenon, of course, I mentioned, and Ben Moulton.
Having a great season.
Yeah, he's had 230-plus nights this year. 32 the other night and 38 earlier in the season.
And there's Carson Meswar, the senior slashing point
he's still the leader.
Joey McGovern, the sophomore, we talked a little bit about. Rick, I think he's going to be big in this game. Sean Kastner and Frank Field, number 33.
Taking a look at the Hurricanes and the Blue Devils, and you take Timmy Brazo out of the lineup, and you're right, there's no size advantage any longer.
Right. We're going to pause now for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright star through the perilous fight o'er
All I can say is wow.
Yeah, quite a voice. CJ Field, beautiful rendition.
Wow.
Of our national anthem, Rick. And Rick, I think I'm going to try to sit down here.
Let's take advantage of it.
All right, both teams now getting their last minute instructions while we have a moment. I want to thank Northern Berkshire Community Television for the broadcast of tonight's high school basketball action between the Hurricanes and Blue Devils. I want to thank our producer, camera person, Peter Gentile, Dave Fabiano back in the studio, coordinating our feedback there, bringing you live high school basketball action. We're all ready for the tip. Louis Gelati, Frank Field.
I'm seeing Coach Reset possibly 7 deep tonight, Tim. We'll have to see. I know Amon David will get action, as will Nick Sacco. Well, he goes beyond that, I'm not sure.
And Hoosac Valley controls the tip this time. Meswar. Right off the bat, it's McGovern. Rebound to Gelati. Hoosac Valley in that sagging man-to-man defense. And Gelati, hard to the basket, doesn't get it.
Saw the opening, just good defense there by Field.
All right, McGovern now running the point here for the Hurricanes. And that traditional tough man-to-man defense by the Blue Devils. McGovern again, he misses it. He's 0 for 2 now. He had a couple shots at it. And the ball will go over to the Blue Devils. No score here if you're just joining us. Opening moments of this rivalry classic, Drury and Hoosac Valley. Moulton working against that pressure. Beautiful drop down pass.
And he scored. An and one.
Logan Davis gets the Blue Devils on the board and will shoot one. Davis gets the three-pointer. And Drury leads 3-0 here. Meswar working against Devignon. Finds Field from the corner. That shot no good. And there's a breakout for the Blue Devils with Gelati on the move. And the jumper is short and a rebound comes away to Hoosac Valley.
I'd like to see Davis take that shot all night if it's open.
Absolutely. And there's Meswar up and under. It doesn't go. Kastner on the rebound. And again, McGovern. This doesn't go.
Nice box out there by Davinon.
Absolutely. McGovern over 3. Oh, a nice drive to the basket. Oh, and a foul by Moulton. Benny Moulton with his first bucket. Drury now leads at 5-0. 6:10 to go here in this first quarter.
Hoosac's had some really nice three-point looks, Tim, just haven't knocked them down yet.
Ten on the shot clock. McGovern down to Kastner. His shot blocked by Gelati. And Davis comes away from it. Caleb Harrington pressuring that ball. And the pass
There's
is
a turnover
there by Meswar. He's going to kick it out. Hoosac on the run, down to Field, and score, and one.
Another and one. How quick things turn around, Tim. You know, Drury with that 5-0 lead looking to expand on it. Next thing you know, they're coming back here, three-point play.
So Frank Field will go to the line. He'll shoot one here. Yeah. Coach Reset has taken off his jacket. It only took him a couple minutes. Foul shot no good. Gelati looking to slash it and loses it over to Hoosac. Drury now turning up some defensive pressure. Here comes Meswar into the front court. All the way to the basket, the short jumper, around and out. Tough rebound there by Gelati. He's gonna run into the front court.
That's a shot I'd like to see Davinon take. I think he wanted to do it midstream.
There's Harrington, long shot, no good. From the corner for three!
Pengill! Anthony Pengill, a boomba.
Oh, boomba, that's right. Anthony Pengill, and it makes it 8-2 Drury.
I was wondering who was going to be guarding who tonight, Tim. 7-9 on Carson.
And the ball will go to Drury. Hoosac Valley now 1 of 7 from the field. Started off cold. Drury now in a 1-2-1-1 zone press from the corner. No good on that one for
Oh, nice
Gelati.
box out there, and it's Davis.
Yeah, they're going
Got fouled, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to call that one on Kastner, I believe, over the back. It was a good.
Great position by Davis there. And he'll put the ball in play right underneath his hoop.
It's going to go against. Yeah, it's going to go against Kastner. And the ball turned over. So both teams have turned this ball over here tonight. A little bit of nerves coming into this. This is a big crowd here tonight at Hoosac Valley. All the way down the range. They're calling an offensive foul on Meswar. And that was well lined up there. He had a head of steam going there, Rick.
Yeah, he kind of advertised it a little bit. He kind of made the call a little bit easier for an official.
That's the first.
He knocked out 3 pins in the lane.
Okay. 8-2 Drury. 3:50 to go in this first quarter. And behind the back, ball stolen away. And that ball
Nice
knocked
defensive
away.
effort by Pettengill there, knock it away. Hoosac will maintain possession.
And McGovern will inbound for Hoosac Valley. Gets it out the field. Long three-pointer is good by Meswar.
First 3 of the night for the Hurricanes. Carson Meswar.
And there's a timeout on the side. Yeah, it's going to be a timeout. Coach Reset calling a timeout as his players were trapped along the sideline. And
3:29 left first quarter. 8-5 Blue Devils. Fast-paced, Tim, to say the least.
And I can tell you, this place is electric. The fans are electric. The student bodies of both schools are electric. And it is quite an atmosphere. Good to be back, Rick.
It's fantastic. It's like we never left, but this is the way you like it. Now, you're not going to get this in every school, and every school district's a little bit different too. So they take it in accordance to what goes on at the school, with the faculty, with the kids, with the community. So there's a little bit of talk, Tim, about college athletics. I'm not sure about the MASCAC with MCLA, but there's a little rumors going around now that the Northeast Small College Athletic Conference, NESCAC, the one that Williams plays in, may be changing a policy coming up very shortly for the month of February, and maybe letting some fans in that are vaccinated. That's the way it was on the first semester, but things got pretty bad when the kids came back to the campus.
Right. We can only hope. So 3:29 to go here in this first quarter. Drury with the 3-point lead, 8-5 on the timeout. They're going to have the ball coming out of this timeout. And Davis will inbound. To Pettengill from the corner. And it's good
Benny
for Moulton. Benny Moulton with the three-pointer. And he can score from anywhere, Rick.
He can, yeah. He's been really hot on threes. Nice behind the back there by Carson.
Absolutely. The field looking to slash the basket. He gets away. He's fouled along the baseline before the shot. He'll be on the floor.
Referee Chalana called it on the floor right under the hoop.
Right, and I believe that foul will go against. It's going to go
Logan Davis.
Logan Davis, right. He had it. That's right, Logan Davis. And that's the second team foul on Drury. Drop down to Kastner. He's fouled on the shot.
That was Pettengill.
So a foul will go against Anthony Pettengill, the senior.
His first team's third, Tim.
And Sean Kastner, the senior, will go to the line and shoot a pair for Hoosac Valley with 3:05 to go in this first quarter. And he missed the first one. So now Hoosac Valley is 0 for 2 from the foul line so far here this evening. Back runs it, but Field comes away with it on the rebound. And again from Pettengill looking to take it down the lane. And it's going to go over to Hoosac Valley off the hands of Louis Gelati. So Hoosac Valley now trails by 6, 11-5. First quarter action. Long shot there by Frank Field, and it's going to back rim. The ball saved along the sideline, and they're going to call a foul here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Caleb Harrington.
Yeah.
Team's fourth, Caleb's first.
And Drury will inbound the ball.
A little surprised that whistle didn't blow a little bit before, but the referee was standing right there.
Gelati down the lane on the left side. Score it! Louis Gelati. Nice move on the baseline.
First points by Gelati.
And it's now 13-5, Drury. 2:20 to go in this first quarter. And some good defense. A breakaway by Gelati. And he missed the bunny.
Mullen
doesn't get it. Oh boy, almost rolled in.
Not sure what Lewis was thinking on that layup.
There's Meswar down the lane. Offensive foul. Don't count the basket. That's going to go against Harrington.
Yeah.
That's his second. And so
on that breakaway, Tim, I don't know if he had to make a last-minute decision if he's going to go right side, left side, and ended up in the middle. It looked awkward from where he's sitting, but don't worry. Lewis will make up for that as the night goes on.
All right, Luke Waterman now going to come in for Harrington, who's got 2 fouls. That's 5 team fouls on Hoosac Valley. And 3 for Drury. So Waterman will enter the lineup for the Hurricanes. Gelati for 3. Doesn't go. The putback doesn't go. Oh, some inside play there. But shot blocked. And the ball stolen away again. And stolen back. What a sequence that was. Carson Meswar doesn't get it. The putback is no good. Both teams have missed some bunnies.
Wow, I guess so, Tim.
Into the game for Drury is Ahmad David. And David,
he missed that bunny down the other end.
Had a couple of offensive rebounds in that last sequence. Furious pace here by both these teams. Moulton doesn't misses it. Ahmad David
another
misses.
bunny missed. Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's been on top of it. So Hoosac Valley is dodging some bullets here, Rick.
You're going to give him. I'm going to say it's nerves. Nerves for the young man. He'll settle down. Wow, they both teams have had some incredible opportunities.
Some pressure defense out on top. And here's Davis trying to get away from it. And they're going to call a travel there in the corner.
Last couple possessions, a little sloppy on the Blue Devils end, Tim.
So 59 seconds to go in this first quarter. It is Drury on top by 8, 13-5. And Hoosac Valley on the perimeter. There's Kastner. Oh, hard to the basket. Score it. Oh, that's a hard drive to the basket and score it for Caleb Harrington.
First bucket for Caleb tonight.
Gelati slid across, almost blocked that shot. Moulton now. Come on, David. Get back it out of that corner. That's a dangerous place to be. And he's in trouble.
He knocked it. Yeah, he did the right thing. He knocked it off.
I think there was a timeout, actually a timeout called on the floors.
Yeah.
Both these teams.
Well, if it was a good timeout, the coach Hoosac called. Other than that, good play by Amon David, knock it off Luke Waterman's knee.
The last place you want to be against these two teams is in the corner without a dribble.
So 18.5 left on the game clock, 13 on the shot clock.
And the ball will stay with Drury, so they can really run the clock down here. If they lead it by 6, 13-7. But needless to say, Rick, both teams have had some offensive opportunities and have come up short.
Yeah, Drury maybe slightly more on missed bunnies, but it's a game of momentum and change, and anything can happen. Only 13-7. This is so far from over, it isn't funny.
So 18.5 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Drury with the 6-point lead, 13-7. They'll get the last, or close to the last shot of this quarter. They can run that clock down. The story of this game so far, Rick, is both teams have had their chances offensively and have not been able to capitalize on some easy shots.
Yeah, Drury's got a little bit better. I mean, we don't do total stats, Tim. Rebounding-wise, Drury might have the slight advantage. Both teams playing really, really hard. Not too much trouble so far in creating havoc on that pressure. Drury's handled it fairly well.
Inbounds pass, it's stolen away by Field. So
Coach Rossette's not happy about that play call.
No, Hoosac Valley and the ball lost at half court. Oh, they're going to call a foul, offensive foul.
That's going to be
on Meswar. That's
2 on Meswar.
Second, and that's a big issue here. That's a big call.
I thought there was going to be a no call, and I had no problem with a no call on that.
Right.
Shot clock is off. 10 seconds left in the quarter.
Devin on with the ball. Looking for Gelati, who's going to take the baseline jumper, and it rolls in at the buzzer.
He got the shooter's roll.
For the Blue Devils, Louis Gelati gets the friendly shooter's roll and puts Drury on top 15-7 after 1 quarter of play. And I'll tell you, it was a hectic, fast-paced quarter of play.
It took Hoosac a little bit time to score, Tim. They had some nice open looks. Joey McGovern, Frank Field, and Carson Meswar all missing threes pretty early. But Drury missed a lot of easy shots also in the last 2 minutes of the first quarter.
And for foul trouble now, you've got Carson Meswar has 2 fouls. And we're going to watch that closely. He's got 2.
Meswar and Harrington each with 2.
So we'll keep an eye on that, Rick. We're just about ready to start the second quarter here at Hoosac Valley. The score is Drury 15 and Hoosac Valley 7. Tim Morey alongside of Rick Bua bringing you live high school basketball action here at Hoosac Valley High School. Drury and Hoosac Valley.
Got our first, I did the Mount Greylock Drury girls game last night, and I was wondering, what's it going to feel like broadcasting a game with a mask on? And not bad, not bad. So it's okay. So as long as everybody can hear me, I'm okay. I feel protected. And we're up here in the coop anyway, right. So you and I are in pretty good shape up here.
Right.
But there is a great crowd. You know, you get your usual sea of blue behind, just below us, the sea of red.
And Devin wheels away from pressure. And Gelati, he's going to slash it to the basket, and offensive foul on Gelati. They are drawn by Kastner.
That's his first, and the team's fourth here in the first half.
So Hoosac Valley now will inbound the ball. They trail by 8.
Drury will be at the free throw line in the bonus situation on the next Hoosac Valley foul. 6-4.
Opening moments of this second quarter here. And looks like there's going to be a foul down on the baseline.
I'm going to say Logan Davis. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's going to be Davis. Now that, I believe, is going to be his second foul. And so now, and it is Davis with 2 fouls. And Amont Davis going to come back in. Davis going to take a seat.
And when you're playing with a fairly thin bench, because he's got Sia Mormon out hurt, and of course, Timmy Brazo out tonight.
Right. And on the baseline is Meswar. Turnaround. No, he's going to go to the line, and he's going to shoot 2. He was fouled in the act of shooting there.
Let's see if it's on Zach Davenon. And it is.
It is. And that's his first.
Team's 5th.
So Meswar go to the line. And it's his 4th point of the night for the senior. One of the top players in Berkshire County without question. And he gets them both. 15-9 now, Drury with 7:25 to go here in this first half. Patton Gill gets that ball across. Amont David, they're going to call foul on David.
Illegal screen, Tim? Or is it just a turnover?
Yeah, just a turnover,
He carried the ball?
just a travel. So ball goes back to Hoosac Valley. And Meswar will run the offense here. Oh, hard slasher back to the basket. No good.
Nice rebound by Amont David there.
And they're looking there for Pettingill. They are really molten with the fadeaway. No good. Short putback. No good. And a rebound by Field. Meswar thought about it for a minute. Gets it into Field on the baseline. Oh, it would have been 3-point possibility. David's going to go to the line. Nice entry pass there by Meswar.
Foul should be Amont David, his first. And before you could say it, in the last minute, Drury's created 3 fouls.
And Field. He has 3 points now. 15-10, Drury now. 6:31 to go in this first half. And Field gets them both.
Little scoring draw for the Blue Devils here.
And nice breakaway there by Gelati. Drury breaking that press easily.
That's why Coach Wissett was trying to explain why practices are so important, Tim.
Gelati with 6 points now for the Blue Devils. Kastner slashing it hard to the basket. He misses the bunny. And Drury on the breakout again. And a missed on the layup. Again, another golden opportunity for the Blue Devils, who lead it by 6. And a runner does not go by Waterman. And Amont David bringing it into the front court. And nothing there, and the ball turns over again. So 5:35 to go. Some turnovers here by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it's hurt them.
And right now, Drury's done a nice job bottling up Meswarden's field as best you can. In low to field, the turnaround.
There's a block by Mullen.
And Drury comes away with the ball. Oh, turned over again. Back to field. And he's fouled on the putback, so he's going to shoot 2.
That's on Davenant, I believe.
Yeah.
That's going to be his second also.
So now Drury getting into a little bit of a foul trouble. Neither bench is particularly deep, Rick, so we'll have to watch that.
Yeah, Drury's kind of gotten sloppy. They've created their own problems. They've missed a lot of easy shots. Joey McGovern back into the game.
And he's going to replace Caleb Harrington. Harrington will sit down. He has 2 fouls. And Field misses them both. Well, he's only 2 of 5 from the foul line. That's going to be big. Oh, the jumper, no good. Amont David, ball on the floor, comes out of there to Meswar, and a foul in the backcourt.
That's 3 on David.
Right. And that's going to put Drury.
2 on David, I'm sorry. 2.
Right.
So they got 3 players with 2 personal fouls here in the first half.
And now Drury in the bonus. Hoosac Valley's going to go to the line, shoot a 1-on-1 now.
They're only 1 foul away from the double bonus, Tim.
Right.
And there's a lot of time left here.
4:59 to go here in this first half. Drury with 18 fouls, Hoosac Valley with 6. And they miss another foul shot. Ball stolen and a foul at half court by Gelati.
Drury's become lackadaisical. That can't make Coach Rousset feel very good.
No, and that's a big foul there. Now Gelati has 2 fouls, and both coaches are really are going to be forced to play people with 2 fouls. They're going to have to.
4 players with 2 fouls for Drury. 2 players with 2 fouls for the Hurricanes.
All right. So now, and this time he gets it. The first foul shot is good for Waterman. And the second one is no good. So Hoosac Valley's foul shooting woes continue. Davignon backs it out. David. To Gelati. Gelati turnaround jumper, no good from the foul line. And the rebound by McGovern.
Not a forced shot, but probably not the best look either there.
Field with a long jumper, no good. And Gelati easily with the rebound, and here comes Drury again. They lead by 5, 17-12 here. Approaching the 4-minute mark of this first half. And there's Moulton in low. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Moulton.
His first.
That's his first.
Double bonus from this point on for the Hurricanes.
Player control foul there, so no
it was
foul.
16 fouls to 4, Tim, and
right.
Since I said that, Drury's committed 16 fouls.
Right. Just a high intensity game between these 2 rivals. And the question that is affecting the scoring and shooting. Meswar now into the front court. Thought about it for a minute. In low to Field. On the block, score it for Field.
That's a great move by the sophomore in the paint.
Yeah, he's tough on the block. He, as you said, inside-out action there, Rick. And hard to the basket, and going to be on the foul. That's going to put Pettengill. Anthony Pettengill will go to the line and shoot a pair. And we'll check the foul here.
I think it's on Sean Kastner Jr.
And if it is, that's his second.
So now Coach Robertson has 3 players with 2. So Drury with 4 players with 2 personals and Hoosac with 3 with 2 personals.
All right. And again, we emphasize, Rick, neither of these teams particularly deep now on the bench.
Pettengill misses the first.
He'll get a second here. And he bangs it home. 18-14. Drury on top. 3:25 to go in the first half. And it has been a high intensity here, as you would expect. Meswar on the outside, covered by Davenant, doing a good job on him. And there's McGovern along the baseline, not there. Good man-to-man defense. Meswar. 3 on the shot clock. They got to take it. There's Field. And he gets it at the buzzer. Boy, right at the shot clock buzzer. Frank Field.
That's a big shot.
It is. Now it's a 1-point Drury lead. Excellent defense all the way around for that entire possession by Drury. Down the lane, no good. Gelati with a putback. Louis Gelati.
8 points for Lewis here in the first half.
And it's 20-17 Drury. Kastner. Meswar. Doesn't get it. And a crashing foul.
It's going to be on Kastner.
By Kastner, and that will be his 3rd foul, right?
So with all the fouls we call here, Tim, in the first half,
boy.
he's become the first casualty of 3.
And he will take a seat here with 2:23 to go in this first half. Louis Pettengill will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1 for the Blue Devils. They lead it by 3, 20-17.
This will be Gelati's first trip, Tim. You see how he does here?
And he sinks it. That's 9 points now for Gelati. He is the high scorer in this ball game. Tied with Frank Field, who also has 9. And it rattles home. Gelati converts both ends of the 1-and-1, and it's a 5-point Drury lead, 22-17. McGovern thought about it for a minute. And looking on the post. Long 3-pointer, back rimmed it for McGovern. Gelati gets it into the corner to Sacco, who's into the game now for the Blue Devils. Nick Sacco, the junior. And Gelati.
Great defense here by the Hurricanes.
Look at a slash, nothing there. Short on the jumper, and Field comes away with it. McGovern finds him along the baseline, but another bunny miss there. Frank Field, short jumper. That doesn't go. And
Nice
Benny
rebound by
Moulton.
Moulton, yeah.
Oh, with an impressive rebound. Here comes Devin on. Beautiful pass off.
Oh, my goodness. How many bunnies have they missed?
Rick, both teams here in this last sequences. The short jumper, no good. The putback and fouled. And that'll put Harrington on the line for Drury. But
it's on Zach Davenant, his 3rd.
Boy, oh boy, 52 seconds to go in this first half. Drury leads at 22-17, but both teams have had their opportunities, Rick. And Hoosac Valley just is having a very tough night at the line.
I got him 4 for 7, but then mine are all unofficial.
5 for 7 is what I have. So one more there. No good. McGovern comes away with it, and the possession arrow will go with Hoosac Valley. That's a hustle play there by Joey McGovern. So Hoosac Valley will keep the ball.
49.6 left, 5-point Drury lead.
Looking to find their Field on the cut. 23 on the shot clock. Nice move there by Field. And they're going to call a travel out top. Another turnover. Both coaches working these refs hard here, Rick. There have been a lot of fouls called in this first half.
Doesn't matter what the score is, they're going to be working them no matter what.
And Pettengill able to get away from trouble. Gets a beautiful pass down to Gelati for the jumper. Turnaround, Louis Gelati. And he's in double figures with 11 points. Shot blocked inside by Gelati. And a travel. And the turnover goes over to Drury here.
Well, let's see if they can get the last shot off.
Oh,
doesn't always go as planned.
All right, 15 seconds on the shot clock. So Drury can play for the last shot here. 24-17, Drury. They've got a 7-point lead here, closing out the first half. And Moulton into the front court. Doesn't get his shot to go. It'll go over to Hoosac Valley with 4 seconds to go.
Well, they got a shot. It wasn't the greatest, but they didn't get the last shot. Hoosac's going to get the last shot. 4.1. Full court pressure here. Here's Meswar.
They catch Meswar on the run. There's a jumper at the buzzer. Doesn't go. They got the look. And that is going to close out a wild first half of action here at Hoosac Valley between Hoosac Valley and Drury. The score at halftime is Drury 24 and Hoosac Valley 17. And Rick, the story of this first half, a couple stories. One, each team with a tremendous number of easy shots, what I would call easy shots that they were unable to convert, both teams, and some of the foul trouble that both teams are in, and the foul shooting for Hoosac Valley. They went to the line, and they are sub 50% from the line. I have them with 5 for 12 from the line, so they're having their problems at the foul line as well. But it's been a real story. The intensity and emotion here is really very, very high, and I think that had a lot to do with some of the shooting woes that both teams suffered here in the first half.
Yeah, Tim, you summed it up as good as it can be summed up for the first half. Both teams playing hard-fought basketball, and thus the fouls. You know, a couple reach-ins here and there, a couple offensive charges, but yeah, the fouls is a big issue. And let's see, Hoosac's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe one off the bench. Excuse me. While Drury has Nick Sacco and Amont David, so that could be pretty much it. I said 7. Coach Robertson's only gone 6, I believe, possibly 7 for a very short period of time. But Hoosac didn't miss that many bunnies, but Drury missed a bunch. So I think a lot of it was nerves, and I think you're going to see some more offense. I don't think you're going to see offense like Drury put up down in Lex the other night. That's just not going to happen against the Hoosac Valley team. And I think Hoosac Valley will put some points up in the second half too. So we'll have to see. It's going to be a chess match with the coaches and substitutions. Who's left on the floor? That's what it's going to come down to in the fourth quarter.
Let's get to that now. On the foul side of it, numerous players with 2 fouls. Only one player with 1 foul, with 3 fouls. That's Sean Kastner. He has 3 fouls.
Sean Kastner and Zach Davenant for the Drury. I've got for each 3 personal fouls.
Carson Meswar with 2 fouls Harrington with 2 fouls. For Drury, again, as you indicated, Rick, Louis Gelati with 2 fouls, Zach Davenon with 2, Amont David with 2, and Logan Davis with 2. So this is going to play, I think, into this game as we go down the line. This is a game of this magnitude, and with the intensity defensively being played, fouls will play a role in this ball game.
It's going to on both sides, and like I said, it's who's going to step up. It could come down to that also.
So the score at halftime, Rick, is Drury 24 and Hoosac Valley 17. We're at halftime here at Hoosac Valley. We're going to take a break now. We're going to be back with the second half action in just a few minutes. And we're back here at Hoosac Valley High School at halftime. The score, Drury 24, Hoosac Valley 17, and both teams coming out on the floor. Rick, you've got the first half rundown.
I do. For the visitors, the Drury Blue Devils, Anthony Pettengill, 4 points, 1 personal foul. Louis Gelati, leading scorer in the game right now, 12 points, 2 personal fouls. Ben Moulton, 5 points, 1 foul. Zach Davenon, no points yet, 3 personal fouls. Amont David, no points, 2 personal fouls. And Logan Davis, who completed the 3-point play to start the game with those 3 points and 2 personal fouls. 24 for the Blue Devils. For the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, Luke Waterman had 1 free throw. Carson Meswar, 5 points, 2 personal fouls. Joey McGovern, nothing in the scoring column, no personal fouls. Caleb Harrington, the senior, 2 points, 2 fouls. And Frank Field, the leading scorer for the Hurricanes with 9 points, no personal fouls for their 17. As Tim said, 24-17 Drury at the half.
Again, a lot of people playing with 2 fouls. I got through that first half. And, of course, Kastner with 3, the only player with 3 fouls. I think Amont David ended up.
Zach Davenon I have for 3.
Okay. So our Drury will inbound the ball first. They lead it 24-17, and here we go with second half action. And there's a foul right there in the back court. That's going to go against Harrington.
That's his third.
Third opening seconds of the second half. And a ball inbounded there to Davignon. Got the score tonight, but he's been steady out there for Jack Rissette's Blue Devils. Yeah, good backdoor action. Oh, Moulton down the lane. And they're going to call an offensive foul.
Taken by Carson Meswar.
Boy, that was a big exchange right there.
That's 2 on Moulton now.
And that could have been Meswar's 3rd foul. So
21 seconds played in the second half, and each team has already picked up their first foul.
McGovern handling the point duties. Long by McGovern, doesn't go. Breakout by Drury. Moulton on the rebound. In the corner. And a ball is going to...
I think it's going to stay with Drury.
Drury, yeah. I think that was a good call by the
One official asked the other.
Yeah. And he doesn't get it in. It's a 5-second violation. Could not get the ball in against that defense of Hoosac Valley. So
I got a feeling if Coach could substitute, he'd be pulling somebody out of the game right now.
Yeah. All right, now Meswar working it up. Being guarded by Dad. Has done a nice job tonight on Carson. Field with a jumper, around rim and out. Shooting woes continue for the Hurricanes. And Gelati. Moulton with the jumper from the foul line. Rattles it in. Benny Moulton. And he's got 7 points now for the Blue Devils. And now 5 seconds.
Another 5 seconds. Went the other way. These are unforced turnovers, but good defense. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But you got to move. Kids have got to move. It's not the.
It's a 9-point Drury lead, 26-17. And they're going to call foul
Bolton got fouled
on the rebounding action. And that looks like that's going to go against Field. And it is. And now that's his third foul. And they're going to put him on the line too. And Moulton. Benny Moulton. The outstanding senior for the Blue Devils has got it up to a 10-point lead now. '28 28-17 Drury. Harrington thought about a long three-pointer for the moment. 10 on the shot clock. Meswar, top of the key. Nothing there. They've got him bottled up. Shot clock continues to wind down. Long three-pointer by Meswar. Doesn't go. Drury comes away with it. And they got numbers here on a break. Three-pointer. Back rims it. Meswar.
Good look by Pettengill. Just to knock it down. There's a nice look. It's going to be short. That's why you foul your shot. And another foul.
Foul there on Harrington. That's going to be his fourth. Harrington with 4 now. 5:27 to go here in this third quarter. Drury with the 11-point lead. This is a danger time for Hoosac Valley.
Look for Luke Waterman. Luke Waterman to enter the game soon, Tim. Coach Larrabee and Coach Robinson are discussing probably a strategy here for substitution, even though I don't see anything right yet. Nobody off the bench, nobody at the scores table. Well, Harrington certainly has to play beyond smart right now.
Davignon. They're going to call a foul. It's going to go against McGovern. Hand check against Joey McGovern. And that's the 4-team foul on Hoosac Valley now. And as we indicate, the danger time for the Hurricanes. Ball tipped away. Davis. No good on that jumper. Oh, great rebound by Moulton. His shot blocked by Kastner. And now Hoosac Valley has numbers. Meswar rides it down the lane, and they're going to call
on the floor.
Foul on the floor.
Good call.
And that's going to go against Davignon. That's going to be his third now with 4:50 to go. Foul trouble all over the place here in this one, Rick.
4 on Davignon, 4 on Caleb Harrington.
Meswar thought about it for a minute. McGovern can't get it to go.
Nice rebound, nice box out there by Louis Gelati. 4.5 left here, third quarter.
Oh, cross-court pass. Short, and the rebound coming out of there is Harrington. Long shot there, short. And lost again on the outside.
Another turnover by the Hurricanes. Here's Samant David into the game for the first time here in the second half.
And coming into the game for Hoosac Valley is Mikey White. Seeing his first action, he'll replace Joey McGovern.
Actually, he's leaving Davignon in with 4, Tim, and Pettengill out. So Coaching strategy. That's all it is.
Both these coaches are going to have to really protect some players. They've got a lot of foul trouble out here early, halfway through this third quarter. Ball down the line. That was Davis. No good. And a ball stolen away there by stolen right back and stolen back again and stolen again.
And stolen again.
Oh my God, what a series of events there. Long three-pointer from the corner. Doesn't go.
Hit the top.
Hit the top and goes out. And so Hoosac Valley's.
Just when you think one of the two teams has this big shot to erupt the crowd, it doesn't happen.
The shooting woes of Hoosac Valley continue here with 3:33 to go in this third quarter. They have not scored a basket yet in this quarter, Rick.
28-17, yeah, three and a half to go.
And Drury has only scored 4. Gelati with the jumper, no good. Ball into the paint. Gelati with a nice turnaround. Oh, it doesn't go. Nice move there by Davignon. His won't go. And Mikey White, and they're going to call it travel. With 3:03 to go, Drury with the 28-17 lead.
Davis putting the ball in play.
And there's Amont David. No. Kastner with the rebound. And 9 seconds on the shot clock. Call. Travel out top.
You got Frank Fielder will take a shot, a good shot anywhere. You know their scores, Tim, are certainly Meswar and Field. And you could really see I think the not intimidation, but a little intimidated to shoot the ball on an open shot.
And ball stolen away there by Mike White. To the basket, score.
Mikey White.
And that's the first basket of this third quarter for Hoosac Valley. They trail now by 9, 28-19. Ball down on the baseline. Just comes up short. Field gets away from the crowd. Ball inside the White. He's going to back it out. He may have been fouled. The shot doesn't go. And there's going to be a foul there on White in the backcourt, and that'll be the 5th team foul for Hoosac Valley.
Nick Sacco, number 12, entering the game for the first time for the Blue Devils here in the second half. Benny Moult will take a seat.
1:48 to go here in this third quarter. It's 28-19. Very low scoring. Hoosac Valley has only scored 2 points. Drury has only scored 4. And they're going to call a travel on Sacco. So the ball will go over to Hoosac Valley now with 1:35 to go. And Hoosac Valley is going to call a timeout here.
Well, you know, Tim, that's why I'm not a gambling man. Because I said at halftime, Drury's going to score more than 24. I'll guarantee in the second half. And they've scored 4. Hoosac Valley, I said, will score more than 17. I can guarantee you. They've only scored 2. And it's 28-19, as you said. But you know what? They're still playing the same type of basketball that we're used to seeing. It's just a lot of shots aren't falling. Outside jump shots, top of the key, baseline, threes.
Right.
And Drury continues their woes underneath the glass. So nothing's changed since the locker room other than what the coaches had to say to their players.
Absolutely right. And both teams, Drury especially, they've had a chance to pull away here. They're up by 9. But Hoosac Valley hanging around a little bit here. Despite all of their shooting woes, they are hanging around with 1:35 to go here in this third quarter of play. So here we go. Hoosac Valley will have the ball, will inbound the ball. And the ball is inbounded. Again, the Harrington, who's going to bring it up against the pressure against Davignon. And he steals the ball at half court. Nice defensive play by Davignon. All the way down the line. His shot blocked. Logan Davis, and it is physical in there. Ball's ahead here to Harrington. Backs it out. And they're going to call on the foul. That's going to go to
it was,
Sacco.
you know what
Boy,
I saw? I saw elbow and an elbow,
right.
yeah.
Oh, that's the third team foul. Drury, Jack Reset not happy with that call, that's for sure. Ball inbounded to White. Down the lane, misses the bunny, no go. And Davignon works the ball up. 50 seconds to go here in this third quarter. A low-scoring affair. Gelati can't get it to go. Ball stolen by Waterman.
Drury not getting a shot off. Not even a good shot. He can't get a shot off. 30 seconds left here, third quarter.
$15 on the shot clock. They're looking low to Field. He's gonna miss it. And it shooting woes just continue.
Not sure about that no call down there.
Right. Frank Field was looking for a foul call. Didn't have it.
Moulton and Pengill back in for Davignon and Sacco here for the last shot of what they think is the third quarter.
Right. 14 seconds to go. Drury with the 9-point lead, 28-19. And Pettengill playing it. Looks low to Amont David, and they're going to call.
He's backing in, creating the foul. That's it. It's an offensive foul.
1 second to go. Amont David there's a long half-court shot. It won't go. That's going to do it for the third quarter here at Hoosac Valley. The score, Drury 28, Hoosac Valley 19 in a very, very intense, low-scoring event, Rick.
Well, you don't get any points for winning 4-2 in the third quarter. That's
no,
for
you
sure.
don't. No, you don't.
I don't know what to say, Tim. This is it's a little different than I expected. Not with the intensity. Or the pace of the game. It's the, what percentage are they shooting? They're probably both shooting 20-something%. I'm not sure. We don't have all the stats. We got the scoring and some of the fouls, but it is hard fought. We'll see if somebody who steps up for their team.
No question about it. Well, we have a moment here. We want to thank once again Northern Berkshire Community Television for the broadcast of tonight's high school basketball action right here from Hoosac Valley High School. It's been a classic. Drury and Hoosac Valley.
The only field goal by Drury was by Benny Moulton, and there were 2 free throws. And the only field goal for Hoosac Valley was Mikey White. So how do you figure?
It's hard to figure. Both teams foul trouble all over the place.
Drury is averaging 67.7 and the Hurricanes 66.2, so they're even there. Drury's allowing 49, Hoosac a little more at 59, but averages are going to change a lot tonight.
We even got our good friend Chuck Lewis shaking his head over there. The Drury scorekeeper who's in attendance tonight. In the back door, score it on a set play to Meswar. (28-21). And he thought about it for a minute. They're looking for Gelati. They've got Gelati boxed up there. Gelati, oh, with a nice baseline jumper. Louis Gelati.
His first bucket of the second half.
And he's got 13 points on the night. He's the high scorer. Field to the basket, doesn't get his shot to go. And they're going to call foul on Frank Field. And that will be his fourth, I believe. We'll see.
Yeah, it's 4, Tim.
Field with 4, Harrington with 4, Kastner with 3, Amont David with 4.
Zach Davenant with 4 also.
And Zach Davenant with 4. So foul trouble for both squads. Doesn't go on the shot. But Drury comes away with the rebound. Big rebound there for the Blue Devils. Moulton trying to take it. Ball on the floor. Gelati, long shot, doesn't go. And they're going to call foul on Gelati over the back. Oh boy.
I don't know about that one.
As far as
what we've seen, that was a touchy-touchy.
That's right. 6:30 to go.
3 personal fouls now for Louis Gelati.
Coach Reset pleading his case at half court. This is a big point of the game for Hoosac Valley, trailing by 9.
Frank Field calling for the ball in the post.
Back door. No go by Meswar.
Those you got to have, Tim.
Meswar has to watch out. He's got 3 fouls. From the corner, go for 3. Moulton. Benny Moulton, a huge 3-pointer. Gives Drury a 12-point lead. And in this game, that is huge. On the box to Field, and he's fouled on the box. And he's going to go to the line.
That's Davenant, and I don't know, Tim. I mean, unofficially, I had him for 4.
And we're going to see who, we've got him with 4.
4 now.
So Zach Davenant now is 4, and that's a big foul. Davenant's done a great job defensively on Carson Meswar tonight.
4 for Harrington, 4 for Frank Field for the Hurricanes. I missed that. Did he make the free throw?
Yeah, he did. 33-22, Drury. And he misses the second. And there's going to be a timeout. We have a timeout on the field, on the court.
There could be some blood somewhere. Oh, it's Zach Davenant. Oh, get the medical staff out here.
All right. And of course,
what sport is this again?
Coach Reset is going to take his time here. See if he can. There's some blood on the court here. Zach Davenant, he's looking to kind of speed this. They got the medic and Drury's going to call a timeout. Davenant would have had to come off the floor, and they don't, Coach Reset doesn't want that. That's for sure. With an 11-point lead, 5:39 to go here.
Yeah, that was a big 3 by Benny Moulton there on that last shot.
Yes, it was.
That reverse layup that Carson missed was big too. That was a 5-point swing right there.
Right. So we'll reset here. We're in the 4th quarter. The score is Drury 33 and Hoosac Valley 22. 5:39 to go. And I believe Drury will have the ball when we resume play, Rick. The official called a halt to play. There was some blood on the floor, and Coach Hoosac has called a timeout himself.
So Zach Davenant is stitched up or bandaged up.
And he's back on the floor for the Blue Devils here as we're going to resume play.
Mikey White, the senior, getting some significant playing time here, Tim, off the bench in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he is.
Second half, actually.
And he's got a steal to the basket. Shot blocked from behind, but he's going to go to the line.
Big play. We said Mikey White. Here, big steal.
And he's made a...
Boy, the Devils had their pocket pick quite a few times tonight.
He's had a couple of good plays, Mike White, defensively off the bench for Hoosac Valley. So he's going to go to the line now and shoot a pair.
Second personal foul on Anthony Pettengill.
Drury now in the penalty. They have 7 personal fouls, and White drains it. Mikey White, that's his 3rd point of the night. And he cuts the lead to 10 now. Misses the second, and the ball will go over to Drury.
Good hustle there by Carson Muswell.
Absolutely.
5:21 left. 10-point Drury lead.
10-point Drury lead here. 33-23 in a low-scoring affair. Neither team able to get started. To the basket, and does not get it to go.
Pettengill can't buy a hoop underneath. He cannot buy one.
He had a great look on that drive. Wasn't to be. Turnaround jumper, tough shot there. Great defense by Logan Davis. There's a travel on the floor. Ball goes back to Hoosac Valley.
They called Benny Moulton for travel. I thought he was fouled. He's pleading his case. He's going to lose, and that's the way it goes. Mikey White will put the ball in play underneath his basket.
4:51 to go now. Hoosac Valley trails by 10, 33-23. Meswar on the box, looking to go, doesn't get it. There's a step back by Kastner, nothing there. And Drury looking to break it out. There's Davignon. Score it!
Coast to coast.
Zach Davignon. That's his first basket tonight, but his contributions have been much more important on the defensive end, as he has held Carson Meswar in check. He extends that Drury lead to 12, 35-23.
Only 4:17 left in the ball game.
Meswar finds Waterman on the short side. Nice entry pass there. Assist to Luke Waterman. His first basket, 3 points on the night. And the rebound attempt doesn't go. 35-25.
I feel bad. I really do feel bad for Anthony Pettengill. He's given it all he has. He can't buy a layup.
On the box to Field. Meswar steps back, doesn't get it to go. Waterman tracks down a rebound. Great defense. Field off bounds. Tough shot. And long on. Doesn't go. That was Davignon again.
Each team's letting their opponent right back into the ballgame with each possession.
3 minutes to go. Meswar to the basket. Score! And a timeout for Hoosac Valley. Carson Meswar.
I got him for 11 now, double figures. Just under 3 minutes left here. There's a time. Good. This is a good timeout after a basket.
Yeah, it is, Rick. For Hoosac Valley, they're down by 8 here. This is it. The 2:58 to go in the ball game, in a low-scoring affair. Both teams playing really hard. If you were here seeing this game live, you would really understand. I don't know if you catch it on TV, but boy, these two teams they are giving up nothing. There is nothing easy tonight. That is for sure.
It's been a lot of fun. It's played up to its billing, that's for sure. We weren't really sure how things were going to match out. It's their only meeting this year. Drury's playing without their big senior center, Timmy Brazo. But you know what? They've stepped up. All the kids, you have to step up.
Right.
Kids are out for multiple reasons. I know that the COVID protocol has really hit us hard in this area, but kids do get sick anyway, and not every team's at full strength every night. You kind of hope you have your full team. You want to play the opponent's full team. This is other than the low scoring and the low percentage shooting, it's been everything it was billed to be.
Special thanks to our staff from Northern Berkshire Community Television, Peter Gentile with us here, setting up and operating our camera, and Dave Fabiano was also here earlier and is back at the studio giving you the quality production of this high school basketball action. All right, Drury takes the ball in bounds. Hoosac Valley showing some pressure now in the backcourt. And 10 seconds.
I don't know.
It was close. The shot clock looked like it was at 20 seconds, but the turnover goes over to Hoosac Valley. So it's a big turnover.
It isn't crunch time. It's only 2:47 left, a little out of time. But this is a pretty big possession because will Hoosac score on back-to-back possessions? That's the point I'm trying to make.
There's Meswar from the top, doesn't go. He looked for 3 there. And Gelati with the big rebound for the Blue Devils. He gets it into and an offensive foul on Gelati. He left his feet. So that's 4 now on Gelati. Boy, just everybody with all kinds of foul trouble. 2:26, still an 8-point Drury lead.
Who will survive? That's what it comes down to now.
Meswar. Ball on the floor.
They got a timeout. Great, nice play there.
Timeout was called on the floor.
Zach Davenon, I think, got the timeout. There's a little intangible for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Talking about Zach Davenon, Rick, only 2 points tonight, but I think he has done a fabulous job defensively guarding Carson Meswar.
He really has, and I was going to say, Tim, a minute ago when you were calling the game on that last possession, the coaches aren't changing anything up. So you've got Harrington and you've got Field out there with 4, and you've got Gelati, and you've got Davenon out there with 4, and the coaches are going with what they have. And are you going to pull Zach Davenon off of Carson Meswar? Coach Hoosac? No, he's not going to do it. He commits a foul, he's out of the game. David goes in. So it's as simple as that. It's the same thing with the Hurricanes. If somebody fouls out, Coach Robinson will find somebody to put in there. But I thought that last possession for the Hurricanes was a pretty big one. Scoring has been at such a drought. It's almost a miracle to see a back-to-back scoring possessions.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. 2:13 to go. 35-27, Drury. Davignon. Pettengill. Ball stolen at half court. Meswar to the basket. Scored it. Oh, that's a big turnover. A big turnover there. Drury gets it into the front court. There's Davis. Moulton thought about it for a minute. He's going to run some clock. 15 on the shot clock. 1:45 to go in this game. It's a 6-point Drury lead. Ball. Oh, Gelati spinning away from trouble. Long three-pointer. Oh, that could have been the dagger. And they're going to call foul now on Kastner. And that will, I think, be it. No, we'll see. That's only his fourth. But it will put Davignon at the line in a 1-on-1 situation here with 1:36 to go.
These are huge.
These are big.
A point is huge. Any point.
Any point at this point. You are absolutely right. And he rattles it in. Big foul shot for Davignon. He gets them both. They're big. It's back to an 8-point lead here. 1:33 to go. 37-29 Drury. Drop down pass to Kastner.
Nice feed by Meswar. Sean Kastner's first points of the game, Tim.
Hoosac Valley pressing. Davignon gets it into the front court. And he's trapped, and that could be it for Field. I believe it is. And that's going to do it. Frank Field will fall out of this ball game.
Held to 1 point in the second half, Tim, is what I have unofficially. Big free throws again for the senior forward, Zach Davignon. Only a 2-possession game here. You can make it a 3 here.
Well, Davignon, the senior, back to the line. Got it again. That's 3 in a row for Zach. Big, big foul shots for Davignon. Four in a row. Zach Davignon, the senior, comes up big at the foul line. Meswar steps back, doesn't get it. Waterman doesn't get it. And we're at the 1-minute mark. Drury comes away with the ball. And Hoosac Valley's going to have to foul. That's going to put Davignon back at the line.
It's kind of like, who do you want to foul and not foul? Right now, I don't want to foul Zach Davignon.
Right, he is perfect from the line. 4 for 4. Stay tuned. Following the conclusion of this game, we hope to have some post-game interviews from Hoosac Valley. It's been a whale of a day here. We start off with high school basketball weekly. We want to thank Coach Ian Downey and Coach Holly McGovern, Drury, and Hoosac Valley respectively for appearing along with their players. And Davignon, 5 in a row now for the senior.
Someone's been practicing free throws.
He's got 7 points, Rick, again. But I think his contribution tonight, more than that, has been his stellar defense against Carson Meswar. And, oh, he finally misses one. We put the jinx on him. 40-31. Mikey White steps back, no good. And he'll go over to Drury now with 48 seconds to go. Into the game for Hoosac Valley is Mike Szabo. And a foul in the backcourt there by White. And this time it's going to be Pettengill that goes to the line. And at the end of the day, Rick, at any level of basketball, it's tough to win if you're only going to score 30, 35 points in a ball game. You're going to have a hard time winning. And kudos to the Blue Devils who are able to really bottle up Hoosac Valley tonight. And Pettingill now. He's 3 for 4 from the line. Drury has shot the ball well from the foul line tonight, Rick.
They have. Yeah, they've done enough. It'd be interesting to talk to Coach Hoosac in a little bit and see what he has to say.
Long jumper doesn't go, and Gelati clears it away with 35 seconds to go. Drury with the 10-point lead, and they're going to come away from here with a victory tonight. And a well-deserved victory for the Blue Devils here. 34 seconds to go. It's not over yet, but it's just about. And
yeah, they're just going to empty the bench right now.
And the story, I think, is Drury found a way. Hoosac Valley emptying their bench. I think there's a...
The heroes of this ball game has nothing to do with scoring tonight, in other words.
That's right, Rick. At the end of the day...
Nothing to do with it. It's hustle, defense, rebound, assists. Anthony Pettingill missed a bunch of bunnies, but he played a great game himself. Did he make them both, Tim? Did he make them both?
Yes, yes, he did. He got them both, continuing the outstanding foul shooting for the Blue Devils.
If you told me you were going to hold Hoosac Valley to 31 points, I'd say, what, the first half?
I have Drury unofficially 15 for 17 from the foul line. They have done a beautiful job at the foul line. Ball on the floor. There's a foul on the floor.
Oh, it's going to be Connor Hinkle.
All right.
I think.
Now he's going to go to the line.
Or, no, he's going to be shooting. There we go.
He's going to shoot the fouls.
You don't know what to expect when you come up here, but I didn't expect 43-31.
Absolutely. And he back rims it. By the same token, Rick, at the foul line for Hoosac Valley, they went 7 for 16 tonight. They had their troubles from the foul line.
They did, yeah. Mostly in the first half. Come on, David hits the scoring column, Tim. He'll get a second. 1 out of 2.
So the score with 21 seconds to go, Drury by 13, 44-31. In the ball game there is Miles Beauchamp for the Blue Devils. Both teams have emptied their benches. Come on, David tied up there along the baseline. And there's White.
It's going to be on Mikey White. A little unfair because her elbows thrown both ways.
Right.
Connor Hinkle's going to get another shot at the line to get in the scoring column.
Absolutely. And he gets on the board.
The 8th grader has scored. One out of 2.
And that's going to do it. Drury will walk away. The final score, the Drury Blue Devils 45 and Hoosac Valley 31. It was a hard-fought contest between these two rivals, Rick.
It was a lot of fun. It stepped up to the billing. You've got two of the best Division V teams, Tim, in the state, especially in Western Mass. Very, very highly thought of in their programs. As I said, how they mirror each other with the styles, the coaches, and so on and so on. So,
very, very big victory here for the Blue Devils at Hoosac Valley. They came into a real hostile, wild environment here, to say the least.
So we're just yelling down to Athletic Director David Rossetti. He said, "Who do you want?" And Tim said, "Well, get the coach and get whatever players you want to bring up here." So we'll have Coach Rossetti and a couple of the Blue Devils hopefully come up here in a few minutes.
We gotta get untangled here. That's the first thing here, Rick. Live television. But again, the final here, it is Drury coming away with the WIC victory, 45-31. And it wasn't the prettiest game, Rick, but it certainly lived up to its billing relative to intensity. These two teams left it all out on the floor.
Two very, very talented teams, as I said. Somebody's going to walk away with a victory, and who knows? They may not have another regular season game, Tim, but who knows what's going to happen down the road.
And we have coming up here, we've got some players. Yeah, here comes Coach Rossetti, and we're going to get some comments from Coach Rossetti here as he's coming up with a couple of his players, Benny Moulton and Louis Gelati.
Zach Davenon and Andy Pettengill.
Yeah.
Let's get them up
Zach,
here.
Oh, we got them all coming
All right,
up.
we'll get the kids first.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. Come on in here. You got a couple on the other side. Ben, Louis, how you doing?
We got Coach Rossetti coming up here. We're live here tonight, gentlemen. We've had a great broadcast putting together this game, but Coach Hoosac, come on in here for a second. My only thing I got to ask is this: can we do this again?
Yeah, exactly. You know, there was a war out there for sure. I mean, 45-31. It's a big atmosphere in this place. You could feel it. Locked down defensively. You know, they missed some shots. We missed some shots, and that's how this game goes all the time. I'm proud of these guys. They played hard. Played hard, you know, playing without our big man. We make no excuses. We said we were going to get on the glass tonight. And let me tell you, these guys got on the glass tonight. Galati, I don't know how many he had, but he was on the glass all night. It was just great performance, great team performance. We got to get better. Only as good as we played tonight. We got to get better if we're going to get to where we want to be.
Well, one of the things we commented on, Coach, you know, there are so many aspects of high school, to the game of basketball. I mean, obviously coming in, both teams, they have the big wheels, the guys that are scoring the points, but we couldn't say enough about the defensive performance that your team put on tonight, and especially, I thought Mr. Davenon over here did a tremendous job on Meswar.
Absolutely. You know, just really being disciplined. We talk about it. Staying in front of people. You know, just doing our jobs. We had a lot of weak side help. We knew we were going to get help. You know, trusting your teammates so you can get up on people. You know, just discourage them. Zach's been, you know, defensive stopper all year. Davis, another defensive stopper. These guys really stepped up defensively, though. Definitely 31 points in their gym. You know, like they didn't shoot well, but sometimes they not shoot well because the defense you play on them.
That's absolutely right, Coach. I agree with you on that. And the other thing is that I mean, it was hard. We said on the broadcast, if you weren't here, I don't think you can appreciate how hot, tough, and what high intensity this game was.
Yeah, I mean, we played hard, and they play hard, and that's what you get when you get a Drury Hoosac game. You know, we missed this rivalry. We're not in the same league anymore. It's discouraging. You know, I wish they were coming to our place in 3 weeks because
so don't I.
And that's when it gets really fun.
We all said that.
That's when it gets really fun. But you know, but hats off to my guys. You know, we hadn't played a lot this year. We had some issues. We were shut down. These guys came back in the gym, did the work they had to do. I mean, we defended. We defended the way we can defend, and when we defend like that, we'll be a tough out.
A lot of times coaches will always say, look, we're always going to shoot high percentage, but you got to give me your best effort. You got to play defense. You guys certainly did that tonight. Anthony, there were a lot.
Pass that over to.
There were plenty of shots. I know you wanted back again. You had some open looks like you and I talked about last night, but you never stopped playing hard out there, and you found a way to come out with this win.
Yeah. We had some hiccups on offense, some couple of missed layups and maybe some missed opportunities that we had, but we can't just focus on that possession. We got to go to the next possession, and we just got to keep playing hard, and we can't give up on ourselves.
What was the plan tonight, Zach? I know Coach Hoosac kept you on Meswar the whole game, even when we had 4 personal fouls, and we were saying who's going to survive this game, but you certainly did, and great defensive effort. How's it feel to win as a senior down here?
I mean, it feels good getting them once a year. We knew we had to take it and make it happen today. We knew it was going to be a war. We came down and we did our thing.
Lewis, you've kind of been, you and Benny have kind of led the way in scoring, but we know what's most important for you, and that's just the victory. And, even just as a junior, you've really stepped up. You had a great first half, a little bit more quiet second half, but you never stopped the defensive intensity.
Yeah, I really talk about me being on defense more than scoring. I can score all day, but the most important part is being on defense.
Yeah, Ben, it's the same thing with you too. You're going to get the points, but you knocked down some of the big shots. One of your biggest shots you probably never will forget was the 3 over there.
Yeah, it was over in my face in the corner. I got off the shot, felt good when I shot it. I knew it was in when I shot it, and then we had to get back and play defense.
That's great.
Well, listen, is there anything, I got to tell you something. Is there anything you guys want to say to Mr. Brazo, who's probably watching at home?
We love you, Timmy. We love you, Timmy.
Love for you, guys.
Dubs for bras, baby. Love you, Timmy.
Well, guys, thanks a lot for treating us to an outstanding athletic performance. We want to thank you, Coach, for coming up after the game. We wish you guys the best of the luck down the road. We're looking forward to seeing you guys the rest of the season. I know you're going to have some great games coming up. So congratulations, and thanks a lot for
taking the time.
Keep up
the hard work, guys. Congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, that's head coach Jack Reset of the Drury Blue Devils and his victorious squad up here, Rick. And again,
I got a little spin here.
The story of the night tonight, it was the defensive effort by the Drury Blue Devils.
It was, and I got some scoring here, Tim. You can just hold on one quick second, and then we're going to end our program. For the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, Sean Kastner with a bucket for 2. Mikey White played a nice second half, had 3 points. Luke Waterman with 3. Carson Meswar with 13. Caleb Harrington with 2. And Frank Field, 2, 4, 6. He fouled out with 10 points for their 31. So not a lot of scoring with 31, that's for sure. For the Blue Devils, they scored 45 points. But believe it or not, did have a couple guys in double figures, led by Louis Gelati with 16 and Benny Moulton with 12. So no surprise there. The 2 top scorers on both teams, both hit double figures tonight. 7 for Zach Davenant and a tremendous effort. I totally agree with you. 5 for Anthony Pettengill, 3 for Logan Davis with the first 3 points of the game, and a free throw apiece for Amont David and Connor Hinkle. Final score 45-31.
Well, Rick, we're at about the halfway mark of this high school basketball season. Both these teams have a lot of games left to play. You can see the talent and ability that both these teams have. So it'll be interesting to watch them as the season goes along. Drury, as I said, they came to play tonight. They had a real defensive effort on their end, and to hold Hoosac Valley to 31 in their home gym, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Reset has never done. It's always been a battle up here. He as I said, several times he's come in here favored and not walked out of here with a victory. There's been times when he was an underdog and did come out with a victory.
Right.
You never know when these two teams played. What I'd be curious to know, Tim, and I know we'll find out at some point, is what was the conversation like between the two coaches at the end of the game? Probably congratulations, you guys really earned it. Something like that.
Right.
Something very positive, something complimentary.
Right.
Because Coach Reset would do the same thing for Coach Robinson because of their friendship. So both these teams are still going to be successful. That loss isn't going to do anything except light a fire under the Hurricanes. And Drury has learned something tonight that may not happen all the time, but they can shoot a low percentage of field goals and only score 45 points and actually come out on top.
Absolutely, Rick. Well, it's been a blast here at Hoosac Valley doing this game. We only wish we could do a few more. We'll be doing more games as we get down the road. as the season progresses. I know you've got some games lined up down at Drury and McCann. I do back here at Hoosac Valley. So that's going to do it here from Hoosac Valley. We want to thank Northern Berkshire Community Television for tonight's broadcast. Peter Gentile again and Dave Fabiano. I also want to thank my broadcast partner here, Rick Bulla, for putting together so much of the statistics and the information that goes into the broadcast. Can't do it without them.
But we're a team, Tim. All four of us, that's for sure.
The final score here at Hoosac Valley, it was the Blue Devils of Drury with the big victory. They win it 45-31. Good night.